actually started. We are still going to intensify our work in those areas dealing with these criminals until they are sorted, all of them. Your other question was corrupt. Look, the issue of corrupt police is, we always make an example, that in families, all of us have a member or two of the family that you rather would not have had for one reason or the other. In some cases, it becomes serious, such that as members of the family would want to disown your own people and say, I, Usman Ban, what icon is denting our image in the family. But it doesn't stop being a part of the family, or she doesn't stop. Despite whatever thing or things that they do, they remain your family members. Those police who are corrupt, they remain police. Even though we don't want them, even though they tarnish our image and the image of a huge majority of police who are doing well, who are upholding the law in the country, who are giving it all, like you heard. You heard from 2015, pursuing one criminal. You heard 11,000 dockets processed in court out of a huge number. So they are hard at work. The majority of them, no doubt. So South Africa is not going to allow a situation where one or two police officers get into crime. We're even saying, as we're saying here, we know that for one reason or the other, they get tempted like other people. But we're not necessarily exonerating or relaxing that they've got to uphold the law. They can't afford, as police officers, to uphold the law on one hand but be corrupt on the other. They must choose one. If they want to be corrupt, jump the line so that we deal you as a criminal. But there are disciplinary processes inside. Once anyone has jumped and across the line, that will never stop, so that we keep the good image of police. But I want to emphasize the great majority are doing well. Those that they just show up and we deal with them as such. But these things of like police getting indebted and maybe as a side issue, some of them getting into this, we want them to strengthen their morals, their morality, their ethical core. Being a policeman is quite a call that requires you to be internally strong. The fact that you uphold the law, which you have to do even in the face of somebody trying to bribe you, you've got to say no. Even if you don't have money, you have to say no, because you're upholding the law. The state as a whole, with its people, depend on you upholding the law. You may not fall. Thank you.
Thank you, Minister. To add on what the Minister is saying, to prove that we don't discriminate when we deal with criminals, even when you are wearing uniform. One of the Major General is currently sitting in custody waiting for sentences. We have just released a statement at the end of last month saying that a Major General has now been convicted. He is remanded in custody waiting for sentence. And that is a very senior rank in the police. But we do not discriminate. We do that without fear or favor, so that the public should just rest assured that those apples that needed to be attended to, we will deal with them. The question of the asset forfeiture unit, the amount, and that they have shall have claimed, we have indicated the amount that they shall have, the accused shall have been ordered to pay back to PRASA. That obviously the AFU will look into that when the assets that they have confiscated are sold. So they have confiscated the assets. So when the assets are disposed of, they look at what is the amount that the complainant shall have lost in the process, and then do those necessary calculation. Over and above this issue of the recovery of the assets, in the state capture that is handled by the DPCI, working closely with the asset forfeiture unit, we have already confiscated 400 million rands that has been deposited into the CARA account. So you can see that there is work that has been done, and the AFU is also hard at work. The asset forfeiture unit of the NPA is working closely with the asset forfeiture investigation of the DPCI. So collaboratively, they are able to ensure that the assets are confiscated. The pace, the question on the pace regarding this state capture matters and others, I have indicated that we are dealing with, we have arrested more than 30. I'm only talking about the matters that are handled by the DPCI. We shall recall that the state capture matter, where all the recommendations were put forward before the National Prosecuting Authority, which is why the ID was made permanent. So the majority of this investigation are with the ID. So I haven't talked about the arrest that they effected. When you combine the arrest that the ID has effected and these ones that I'm talking about, you'll see that the number is high that we have already secured before the various court in the country. Otherwise, I think that the matter are proceeding. You have asked a question as to what are these other matters that we are dealing with. You will recall that there were matters of Bosasa. Arrests have been effected. You will recall that there is the matter of Free State housing. Arrest was effected and even conviction already secured. An individual has been sentenced in that regard. You will recall that there are matters of asbestos in the Free State. One suspect has already been brought back from the US to come and join others. That is part of the state capture. There are other matters dealing with the SA Express in the Northwest. We have indicated when those individuals were brought before court. The last aspect of the PRASA investigation. So this is an individual indeed. There are other investigations that are continuing. So a number of statements have been obtained, and then the financial accounting investigators are still working on those so that they can tighten the loose ends. And once the investigation has been completed, the National Prosecuting Authority will make a decision and we will follow that. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Minister. National Head. In closing, Minister, may I just give the Acting National Commissioner to talk to the issue of consequence management relating to those members who are found to be acting outside the law. General Musikili.
Thank you very much, Minister. In terms of the numbers on the corruption.
Shift. Time to change. Shift.
To be specific on the ministers, to reiterate on the issues that Minister highlighted, especially that if you are a corrupt police official, you must choose which color of uniform you want to wear. We have since convicted 2,118 police officials that were found to be on the other side of the law. And this is the endeavors that the department has taken. We have established the anti-corruption unit, and this unit has been working very closely looking at internal affairs. They are just investigating cases where members of the South African Police Service are found to be involved in any matter that is not acceptable, including corruption and any other matter that is criminal. So we are dealing with the issues over and above those that will be internally investigated as well in terms of the disciplinary processes, and they are dealt with accordingly. Meaning by the time that court concludes its cases, we have already dealt with the internal processes, and majority of them will get the expeditious process before the court process that can take years to be concluded. Internally, we will clean them up through the disciplinary processes of the South African Police Service. Thank you.